Alrighty, I'm back for our third series of the night. Not very long games yet, but maybe they will still come. I think Polish ArT has a tendency to play some proper late game. And YoungYakov is actually a Zerg that is maybe not at the highest level, but I think he's always pretty eager to bring it to the late game. So I expect this to be a pretty long series, and hopefully we can still stick to 1 hour per series. Because I'd like to do this for at least 4 hours. It's fun, it's good. Big shout out to Basilisk once more for the 10 gifted subbies. I'm always ready. Well, not always. I'm only ready when I'm actually behind the computer. This is not the weekly. In the weekly, I don't mind missing like a minute or two, but obviously for these series, I don't want to miss anything. A little bit of story time does not hurt. A best of 5, a co-main event. The winner gets $100. The loser gets 25 on this weekend. That is apparently all about fighting, because there is a big UFC. Kind of forgot that was happening this weekend. No F1, no Feyenoord, but hey, he renamed to Old Yakov. I guess no longer YoungYakov. Name change, guys. New branding.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. Winner of the best of 5 gets 100 buckies. In the top left side, we are looking at the main base of our Polish Protoss. He wanted to play for a couple of weeks. This week, I decided it was his time. It's Platinum Heroes ArT. In the bottom right side, we're looking at the main base of our Russian Zerg, who has renamed himself. No YoungYakov, it's Old Yakov. I think this is going to be a banger best of 5. I really have high hopes for this one. This is YoungYakov. Yeah, I know he had a tiny dip in motivation a couple weeks ago after his team disbanded, and I asked him to play quite a few weeks, and he said like, no, I don't want to. I feel like I always play bad. In the end, he agreed to play Moja. He was down 0-2, but he turned it around a couple weeks ago. Then he sent me another DM saying, from now on out, I always want to play. Whenever you think it's time, ask me. I was like, all right. I think this is a good one. Something happened where YoungYakov was very demotivated. I forgot what it was. He had some sad news. What team was he on? He was on something that left. I don't know. I'm confused now. Wasn't he on Twisted Minds for a bit? He was on Twisted Minds, no? Hasn't he played for Twisted Minds? He was on Platinum Heroes? He's never been on Twisted Minds? Before on Twisted Minds. Either way, take a look at his Twitter account. He was very demotivated for a little bit. He didn't want to play because I asked him to play and he said no, no, no. But now it's back to yes, yes, yes. And that makes me happy because I think he's a great guy. And we obviously need Zerg players around this level. We can't always just rely on Rainer and Cyril to keep going forever. I want to say Lambo, and of course I want to see Lambo play, guys. I ask Lambo pretty much every week because I know that it's very rare that I get a yes. Lambo's enjoying that pocket a little too much. Shout out to Allover47 for the crime. I appreciate it, mate. ArT goes for the immediate wall-off on the right, leaves the left open for a while, but Yakov is not doing anything too cheeky or crazy. I'm gonna have a standard macro-oriented opening. We will see some oracles, and of course we'll continue to see some oracles. But I stand by my prediction that if this patch goes live the way it currently is, A, I'm gonna DM Sloppy Donkey because I want some of that action if we actually have 5 tournaments. And B, I don't think we'll always see oracles. You bet Nurture can still play. Nurture actually did play in some of the ESL weeklies. Let's say like a year ago at this point. And he had a couple of okay-ish runs, but the guys from the past, they just can't really break into like the top 8 right now. It's really, really hard. Same goes for a lot of our favorite old Korean players. It's not that they quit because they didn't like the game or that there was just not enough action over in Korea. If they were good enough to still dominate and potentially win an Esports World Cup or BlizzCon or their regionals, they would. But the game gets hard, and some players just always had the skill, like Maru, to adapt to every single patch, to every single meta change, and be very complete across the board. And some of the other players are just not capable of that. Stefano still plays a bit. He actually plays Battle Aces. Whenever you load into Battle Aces, probably load into Stefano. The other day I beat him. He was trying to one base wasp rush me, guys. The disrespect. We also recorded a great video that I can't wait for you guys to see. Serious disrespect towards me in Battle Oasis. Including Raynor and Cero. I know, they're sweethearts. Great reputation. But there was some disrespect there, guys. Stefano is still good. Like, and he never really like officially retired. Stefano basically retired once, came back, and then he stuck around forever. Whenever there is something for him to play in, he played. He played in a lot of the online regionals. He'd still be like a top 16 to top 24 player in Europe. Just not top 8, not top 12, definitely not top 4, but you know, good enough to at least be part of the best players in Europe. He has played in quite a few Big Brain Bouts. I think the last time I asked him to play, he played against Milky Cow and he won 3-0. But he also said that he wanted to retire on this victory. Any insight on the plans for Monday SC2? New sponsors? I'm not really looking for sponsors. I was looking to see if somebody else wanted to do something. So, I have not seen any announcements. I haven't seen anybody do anything. So, if nobody does anything, then I will do something, but I'll do something different. I will not run an open cup for everybody to play in. I will probably do like an 8-man invitational. If there is nothing happening the Monday after that, I'll do another 8-man invitational. Then we have the Home Story Cup weekend, and after that we can always go back to some sort of open cups, but with a different format. We've had some other people reaching out to help out, which I think is nice. So I think we can make something happen. But it also just like, it depends. It depends on a lot of things, and it's not just me. Little Stasis Strappy goes down in the main. Gets a couple of the drones stuck. I also think we just scouted the Spire, but did we? He saw it, but did he see it, guys? You giving away some Battle Oasis keys? I have them made, but they're in an Excel sheet, and I don't have Excel on my PC. But I can maybe forward the link to somebody, and then they can help you in the Discord. If anybody needs a key, just ask in my Discord, and I'll take care of it later tonight. I can't do it right now during this event, but I can do it later tonight. Clam's off race would be too good for Stefan. In ZVZ, it'd be fun. I think ZVZ could be fun, but I think I'd still favor Clem. But Clem's Protoss would be way too good for Stefano. Obviously, Starin. We're not even going to talk about that. In ZVZ, I can still see it be close. Stefano, ZVZ, Magic. I think that might be eternal. The Spire is finishing up here for YoungYakov. He has a Dropperlords, or he has Overlord speed on the way, and he's building a lot of roaches. This is one of these games where he builds a Spire, but he doesn't really want to use it because it got scouted. But I don't even think that ArT really realized it. I'll be dead honest, guys. I don't think that ArT even saw it. I see no cannon here. He did build a second fleet beacon, or a second Stargate and a fleet beacon. So maybe that was a, hey, if he goes Mutas, I'm going to build a lot of Phoenixes. So maybe he did see it. Could also just be for Tempest or a Carrier, since that's what a lot of people like to transition into. I'll let somebody else handle it, Dr. Jit. But I have I think 100 keys for Battle Oasis. So in case any of you guys want it, we can sort it out after this stream. Does not hurt me. 17 Mutalisk on the way as ArT is maybe just waiting a little bit, wondering what do I need to get ready for. YoungYakov is going to test the waters with the roaches, with the Zerglings. One High Templar gets sniped, second High Templar gets sniped. Really good snipes there, by the way, and this is without the Mutalisk even. I do think maybe we went a tiny bit too deep in the end. Sure, you've got no storms to worry about, but there's a lot of roaches. There's a couple of them out there. Where are them 17 Mutalisk? Oh, it's a carrier, guys. ArT does not need carriers right now. What ArT needs to do is start researching any impulse crystals and get phoenixes. War Prism may give him the heads up. Let's take a look. Oh, he doesn't see it yet. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Because this is not 5 mutas, 7 mutas, like where you warp in a couple stalkers and you're okay. This is a silly amount of mutas. Now, ArT, full of confidence, is actually on the other side of the map. He's gonna battle some roaches and links. The Mutalisk turned around, but now decided to turn back around to still go for that Protoss natural. ArT, his 2 carriers I think are so far along that you may as well let them finish up, but he really needs to worry about them Mutas. The problem with carriers, guys, is just that it takes forever to build them, and now he's never gonna get any phoenixes out. It still takes a while to get these carriers out. That's not enough stalkers to battle this many mutas. The plays by YoungYakov: build the spire, showed roaches, showed zerglings, and he did not want to show up with 4 or 5 mutas. He shows up with all the mutas. He's got 121 army supply. Polish ArT is blinking his stalkers, but the problem is that not all of these stalkers can shoot at the same time, while all these mutas can pretty much always fire. The roaches and lings get on top of the 4th base. These cannons will fall. That Archon falls. Honestly, I don't think there is a world where the Protoss stabilizes here. But maybe ArT can prove me wrong, and maybe he can do the impossible. Well, of course, there is no battery overcharge on dispatch. You have recharge, but that's not quite as strong in some of these situations. Can be very powerful in others, but a moment like this, you would rather have battery overcharge for your Archons, as the Mutalisk will get on top of the Stalkers, and ArT indeed cannot stabilize. He saw the Spire. I don't even really know if he realized it. I had the feeling all along that that second Stargate and the Fleet Beacon was for either Tempest or Carriers, and then unfortunately for ArT, he built the Carriers at a very painful moment. It's like when it's 65-70% done, and that's when 17 Mutalisks show up in your main. It's difficult. 1-0 lead for our Russian Zergi. Ley lines will be our second map. So my plan for the Monday, assuming that nobody does anything, which is what I'm assuming, is that I will open a list of signups. And if there are 8 signups or more, we'll run a little tournament for players between 4,000 and 5,000 MMR. I'll obviously try to keep it somewhat close, because I don't think 4,050 MMR will make for a great match against 4,900 MMR. But obviously I kind of know the level of most of these guys. And then just do a little 8-man bracket, 1 series at a time. And we'll definitely be busy for 5 or 6 hours. We'll still have Starcraft on the Monday night. I think that is the plan. But hey, maybe I'll be surprised if someone else saves the day.
Round 2, fight!
No energy for inside recall there. You mean when he was out with the Stalkers on creep? I'm sure he had energy, but then you lose a lot of Stalkers. And the problem is that the Mutas are still going to be quicker. So I don't think there was any hope. Great snipes obviously on the High Templars, because maybe if you've got 4 High Templars with Storm, and it's a bit more scary for these Mutas to really dive in. But I don't know. This man, I think, knows he just needs to be a little more on top of what his opponent is producing, and that's not easy. Because as Zerg, you can drop multiple buildings, and then you still can figure out what the hell you want to build. But it's alright. We know he's good. He's been good. He's been around the block. It is a man from Poland, over 6,000 MMR. This is ArT. In the bottom left side of Ley lines, taking the 1-0 lead. Getting the comeback a couple weeks ago against Mojo when he was down 0-2. But he turned things around. Today he takes the lead. Our Russian Zerg, YoungYakov. Pi is going to stone you for Pi Dave rematches soon. I mean, obviously I will rig the bracket. I'm not gonna be Omega professional about it, where it's like, oh, everyone, we're gonna do a raffle. Like, no. I'll just see who's available, and then I'm gonna make a bracket with 8 people that I'm very fond of, and then I think we'll make great matches for each other. To obviously make sure there's no cheating. Because the biggest problem in lower MMR tournaments is that as soon as money is involved, people will lie about the MMR, they will share accounts if you make it open to everybody. So that's not something I ever want to deal with. I know what a lot of these guys are capable of. I know what they've peaked at, so we can just rig it and make a fun bracket. And we can definitely get the Dave Testa Pi match going. If you want to play, Dave, if it's happening, obviously I'll wait for Saturday to go by, I'll wait for Sunday to go by, and then we'll make some plans. But it will start at 6 PM on the Monday like it always starts. But then maybe some matches, because we'll do 1 match at a time, can start a bit later. So even if you can't be there at 6, you can be playing at 7 or even 7:30. Not exactly sure what you're asking me, mate, but Don't think I even want you to elaborate, but feel free to actually explain to me what you mean. Are you angry that YoungYakov is playing? YoungYakov is a very, very sweet guy, mate, and he's not responsible for what other people do. I do not believe in that. If I would ever have an issue with YoungYakov, I wouldn't be inviting him, but I don't. He's sweet, he's nice, he means well. It is not his fault. Any other contributions? I assume that this is it. It's a decent amount of Zerglings produced by our man, that is a YoungYakov. As the Stalker is working on an Overlord. There's no third base to cancel yet. I think the YoungYakov was probably hoping for a little cancel there. Instead he's gonna work on the Cybernetic score, but I think with an Oracle and Adaptive Stalker you'll always be fine. Drop that high IQ bomb and dip. Yeah. That's sometimes the contribution that we get. It is what it is. I don't think anybody has more grudge matches than Lino, by the way, Pi. I don't think that's doable. Lino has got a whole laundry list of people that he will eventually take care of. The double Oracle opening for ArT is not really working out yet. Not really getting anything done, but we're keeping them alive, we're keeping them healthy. That is something. Tools are being activated. Oracle takes a decent amount of damage. He's working on the Queen for a little bit there. ArT actually has a lot of adepts, but he does not have resonating glaives. He does not have a Twilight Council, so tiny bit confused about this one. If you want to get something done with these adepts, you have to do it right here, right now. But even then, I just 10 adepts, guys, without glaives. Will have a very good start to his attack, as YoungYakov loses a couple of his Zerglings in the center of the map. Here come these adepts. Obviously, ArT will be okay with these adepts eventually falling. He just wants to get a lot of worker kills. It's actually starting really good, and that's an unfortunate rally there for YoungYakov. I think you can let this Shade finish up, by the way, and I think you can absolutely gun down this Spore Crawler. There was not that much HP. This wall-off, by the way, got a bit weaker because Spore Crawlers have less HP. So the Spore wall-offs are less reliable. One of the Oracles does die, and that's very sad. I love that he leaves 2 adepts behind. I love that he shades the rest into the main base. This is a great attack so far by the man who's down 0-1. Honestly, beautiful execution by ArT. I don't think you can really ask for a lot more. What is that? 17 drones probably? Make it 18 drones as he kills another one in the natural. Hello, Rexy. Somebody forgot to put us on the Team Liquid calendar last week, but they put us back on this week, which makes me very happy. There is no observer mode on the PTR, so if you guys ever wonder how many XYZ died, just ask me and I'll bring it up. This time it was 18 drones. This is because we are playing the new version of Starcraft that is already a mod, and then you can also have the other regular observing mod on top of it. Obviously, once the PTR is gone, and this will be the regular version of Battle.net, it's all good. Hello, the silent. Yakov is dead. Yakov is gonna send it. And I have seen Zergs make a few too many remarkable comebacks to ever say that YoungYakov is dead. But it's not looking very good for this in this game. He's got 1 shot. There is a battery here. Yeah. It comes down to the execution here for ArT. I don't think ArT exactly needs to be max specs in his prime here. But he is still gonna have to micro pretty well. And if you randomly lose your Immortal and you suddenly have to deal with a lot of roaches, do not underestimate how many roaches and Zerglings Zerg can make of only 43 drones. Seems like Polish ArT is struggling a little bit with his ping, so we'll just wait. Has the SC2 meta shifted that Protoss is the most powerful late game with Terrans and Zergs needing to stop them from getting a max army? No, I don't think that's necessarily accurate. But I do think the balance has really shifted. I believe that on this version that is currently live on the PTR, and I don't know if they're still going to change that, or if it will get even better, but I think Protoss is actually the best of the three. And to me, that's not a very hot take. By the way, ArT needs to stop building workers, because he's now 20 workers ahead. I think that's pushing it a little bit. When you've already done a lot of economic damage, you do not need to be 20 workers ahead. 2 adapts are going to shade into the natural, so he will get even more economic damage, but he just needs to survive. What he needs to do is just survive. Like, this is nice and all made, but just focus on the D. And this is, by the way, one of these moments where I do not hate a desperation defensive void ray. Just anything to still get some value out of your Stargate, anything to spend your money, I think would be solid. This is it, a full send by YoungYakov. One more stasis trappy gets popped. That Archon is honestly morphing not in the best spot. The Immortals are going to get surrounded. We don't have a War Prism. This is still going to get close, guys. I want to say I believe in the power of Protoss, but this is still a little bit close. But the batteries are helping out a lot. The Archon got a couple good shots up there. The 2 Immortals are doing whatever they can, but not many regular roaches left. And now he's actually shooting at a Queen. ArT is losing a crazy amount of battle units. ArT is losing a lot of workers now too. But YoungYakov is still so committed. But he's got 64 army supply. 1 War Prism there, and I think ArT is cooking for a very, very long time. A few less workers, a few more either cannons or batteries, and he is cooking. No, instead, I don't know if he's cooking. He's still down a lot of supply, but he might stabilize in the natural. Even though it's hard to kill Ravagers, that is a bit of an issue. We got +1 on the side of the Protoss. The 3rd base is gonna get fully swarmed and will most likely get taken out. We have another Archon morphing. The creep is a big issue here. We even lost the Cybercore. Oh, ArT. I mean, he still has a shot. I don't want to say that he's 100% dead, but it's obviously not looking very good anymore. The funny thing is that he's still up in workers. That's not going to last forever, as YoungYakov can now obviously go back into producing probes. The counter-attack, the counter all-in perhaps we can call it, by YoungYakov is going to pay off in a big way as he surrounds 2 of the 3 Archons, kills it rather quickly. 1 more Immortal pop. That one doesn't fall immediately. That's a lot of Zerg units going down. The Queens were not helping out there. Now it is Zealots with +1 and 2 Immortals battling 4 Queens, 4 Ravagers. Every second that goes by now is a second that I think YoungYakov will take, as he has completely destroyed the 3rd base, and that's obviously massive. I don't think defending the 3rd was bad. I just think that we got a tiny bit carried away by creating the biggest worker lead ever. Still focusing on counterattacks while we're already in an economic very good spot. All these extra gateways. Just like 2 cannons and a battery there, and there is no way that you lose the fight. Also, a War Prism. It cannot be emphasized enough on how important the War Prism is in the defense there. And like an Archon finishes up, you pick it up, you drop it over here. An Immortal gets surrounded, you pick it up, you drop it over here. And War Prism changes everything. Yakov's now hitting us with a little bit of Queen harass. We saw several do this once. From here on out, I always think back of Yona, as he even dropped some creep guys to give the Queens the ability to drop a trench fuse. That's kind of cute. He now forgets about it as he's focused on saving the 4th base. Saves the 4th base, but loses the drop lord with the Queens inside of it. Yakov's economy is getting better and better, and it's now better than it's been throughout the entire game. Polish ArT in a little bit of trouble. Yes. The game looked very promising. I mean, not that. Just like I didn't want to say that Yakov was dead. I don't want to say that Polish ArT is dead here. Even though I definitely don't want to go with the narrative and say that he's cooking. He's doing a lot of things, but the man ain't cooking right now. If he can get some +2 Archons, +2 Immortals, takes a good fight. There is a chance. There honestly is a chance. The man is in trouble. We don't have the War Prism this time, and as I said before, cannot emphasize on how important the War Prism is. You get so... I don't like this attack by Yakov, because he also invested in a Baneling Nest and Infestation Pit. This is not the moment to fight. I don't think he wins this fight. Yakov should not be fighting here. If he's just looking for a tiny bit of damage, sure, whatever, give it a shot. But he should not be willing to trade armies, because that's not going to be a good trade for him. You can see he's losing a couple of the roaches. Builds 13 swarm hosts, guys. Infestation pit done, and 13 swarm hosts. This morning, I actually did my best to be a good husband to Vicky. And I helped carry all the boxes from the shed to the living room. Had to move a desk out of the way. It was honestly painful. My back is broken right now, but the Christmas decorations are here. They're just not set up yet. As ArT has gone for an all-out attack with Zealots, Archons, and Immortals, he sees the Swarmos. He probably, I want to say, needs to run away from the first wave of Locusts, or does he believe in the splash damage of these Archons? He's got +2. He's so uncreeped. This is bizarre, guys. As Yakov is on top of the third nexus, so he's dealing a lot of damage. Warp Prism does not go down. The Bowls missed. Are you kidding? The Bowls missed. It's 110 army supply for YoungYakov, as these roaches have completely ravaged the third base. But he doesn't really have a good army right now to fight this many Archons and Immortals. And a lot of his supply is stuck in Swarmos that cannot always fight. So the third base is completely donezo for Yakov as he takes another fight here. Can he win the fight against these Archons and these Immortals with the extra units? Here come another wave of Locusts. The Locusts need to save the day. And I want to say that that is absolutely doable. Oh my goodness, Locusts hit like a truck. And that Warp Prism has 10 HP left. ArT, if he would have just ran towards this base, he easily kills this base and he can go home. If ArT would have just ran towards this base, he would have killed it. And then it's 3 bases against 2 bases. Even though there is a Zergling here that's working on probes. He really wants it. The Immortals. I don't know what we are looking at. Thank you so much, Loco, for the raid. I hope you had a great stream. No, careful. We are in our third of a 4 series on the Monday night in the Big Brain Bouts. I know that Loco's got... Oh my god. What are we doing? What are we doing? This game is pretty nuts. 14 Banelings morphing. Do we have Baneling speed? Yes. I think Yakov wants to attack with his massive army supply advantage. Dark Shrine on the way, but that's gonna take a little while. ArT obviously took a lot of economic damage. Don't forget that the floodgates are wide open in the natural. That Dark Shrine is very dead. This Dark Shrine is very, very dead. A lot of these probes, if we don't pull them away quickly, are going to be very dead as well. Where is that Prism? Prism is home. Locust don't just kill the Dark Shrine, they kill the Nexus straight up. But now it's just very weird, right? Because it's a Zerg, you don't have your third anymore. What if you made an Oracle, gave it energy recharge and clicks on that hatch? Yeah. How many queens are left? 3, but none of them are here. Or that Void Ray would have gone on an adventure. Warp Prism with the Immortals is looking for the kill, might get the kill, but I also think that ArT is in danger of losing this base. And with in danger I mean, oh, this base is dead. It is donezo. This is a Benny Hanzo base if I've ever seen one, as the Locusts crash on top of the Archons. Oh my god, he stands there and he fights. You cannot fight this. And after 15 minutes, it is Yakov who takes the 2-0 lead in a pretty bizarre game. Gotta say, it should have gone ArT's way, then it should have gone YoungYakov's way, but then he kind of threw, so then it should have gone ArT's way again. But in the end, YoungYakov won. If ArT, instead of going so deep into the natural, just runs towards the bottom with all those Archons and Immortals, he kills that hatchery, and the moment he sees the Locust, he just runs. You just run, you don't stand on creep and fight all these Locusts. Oh yeah, Starcraft is a lot easier if you're just sitting in your chair or on your couch and you're enjoying some games. We can all make the correct place. That is absolutely a game that could have gone towards ArT. Not once, but twice. And he did lose indeed some probes, obviously. Old Yakov didn't raise a coward. 1 map away from getting another big dub. Australia's not going to be happy with me if this is a 3-0. Just short games tonight, guys. While I feel like in the past the PTR actually gave us longer games. tonight, all of our gamers had some aggressive plans. We had a 12 pool drone pool, we've had a 3 Rex SCV pool, and so far this series, I mean obviously 15 minutes, not a mega short second game, but if it's a 3-0, it's still a short series in the end. Let's hope that is not the case.
Round 3. Fight!
In the bottom left side, our Polish Protoss, who's been asking us to play for a little while. Obviously, he had a lot of potential in that first game, in that second game. He's showing us that he's more than competitive. Can we get some dubs? This is Polish ArT. And I say Polish ArT because there's a Russian ArT as well. And he also plays Protoss. In the top right side of Ultra Love, we are looking at the main base of our 20-year-old Zerg, who now apparently feels old. He used to be a youngster, now he thinks he's old. Wait until you turn 37, mate, and you're still looking at Starcraft 2. This is YoungYakov, or old Yakov. Swarm Host was almost lost in the game. To be fair, Eva, I don't think that the Swarm Host was like the worst call ever. I just think saving up the money for all the Swarm Hosts, getting a Baneling Nest, getting Speed Banes, but then attacking only with a couple Roaches and Ravages, that is I think what almost costed him the game in the first place. While if he would have just taken a fight with the Roaches, Ravages and the Swarm Host, then you know, maybe they would have looked better initially. But well, it's definitely the kind of Starcraft 2 game that could have gone many different ways, and they both had potential to win it. In the end, the man who took the 1-0 lead also takes the 2-0 lead. The Swarm Host made him win, perhaps made it harder, but also didn't have to make it harder if he would have just brought them the first time or waited for it. A lot of if, buts and maybes about that second game between these two. The best of 5, where the winner gets $100, the loser gets 25. At least they'll walk away with something. It's the way we've always done it in the Big Brain Bouts, and I'm a fan of this. Australia did say that he's a brand new man and that he no longer wakes up at noon. He says, I think it's 10 AM sharp that he prides himself for. That's when you know you're dealing with a gamer, you know, when they're up at 10 and they're very proud of it. This is a new Australia. I'm waking up before 10. That's what he said. So I do think he's ready. If he's 20, then he's born in like the year 2004. If he was born in 2005, then well, he can be 20 obviously, but then I would have already been going to international Warcraft 3 events. But in the year 2004, I can tell you that little Roddy was already wiping the floor with most of those Dutchies, except that grubby guy. That grubby guy was kind of good. He was pretty hard to beat. That took a little while. Eventually we got there, but that took a while. And in 2004, we were already smashing nerds at offline Warcraft 3 tourneys in little smoky game cafes. Different time. 40 nerds in a basement full of smoke. Esports, baby. I know that one. I'm not too worried. But obviously I did kind of tell him to be ready at 9. That's for me 9, for him it would be noon. So, like if this would have been a 4-minute victory, then it would be like 40 minutes early. Let's just hope it's not the case. Speaking of Warcraft, a lot of Warcraft news this week, and I think I saw Loco try some Warcraft 1. I don't know how it is with you guys, even if I generally believe that those games were goated back then, and unfortunately I never played Warcraft 1 and 2 when I grew up. But if I look at these remastered versions right now, I think that's something you can only truly enjoy if you've played it in the past and you've got a lot of very warm memories of it. Because if I look at it right now, I'm like, yeah, I don't see myself playing this, man. He beat the Orc campaign today and he started the human campaign. Yeah, maybe for a campaign, I guess. I don't even know if there is multiplayer in those games. But it doesn't look that appealing to me. Thank you, Foucault Spendulum, for the 85 months. Thank you to Lugo for the 78 months. It's a very long time, guys. Appreciate it. It's so clunky. It's just... I look at it and I think it's cute and I think it's awesome and I'm not hating on it, but I think it's just, personally, it's not for me. It's hard, I think, to enjoy those games if you don't have a history or a memory with it. I'm joking, but thank you so much, Foucault Spendulum, for also gifting us some subs. This Friday is getting better, as I have now officially entered my final month, guys, of almost freedom, baby. I've been a prisoner to my own house for the last 4 months. Oh, we're almost there. I am ready to be released and be an animal. Thank you, Foucault, for speeding up the process. So many passionate nerds that love Ruddy. Yeah, it's always nice to do Starcraft. I will continue to do Starcraft, guys. And just because I love Deadlock and I'm very into it and I want to get better in Deadlock and I cannot get enough of it, that doesn't reduce my passion for Starcraft or all the people that are here. House arrest, I gave it to myself. I gave myself house arrest. Nah, I still had some fun, man. Don't worry. There's nothing too crazy. We've got Colossus and Extended Turbulence on the way. 6.5 minutes in, as these oracles have just kind of been roaming around. ArT so far has only lost a single probe, so in that way it's been kind of clean. Making Colossus against Hydra-Link Bane. Something that sparks a lot of joy to me. But what I often compliment YoungYakov about is that I think he's pretty quick to realize that certain builds will not cut it. And then he switches it up. He now scouts and he sees that the Colossus is out. If I was YoungYakov, I would almost immediately drop an Infestation Pit, drop a Lurker then, and turn this into a Hive Tech game. YoungYakov says, you're not me, Roddy. I'm just gonna build Hydra-Link Bane, baby. I'm gonna send it. I mean, sure, but I don't think that's gonna cut it. Colossus may not be mega popular in this matchup, but I can guarantee you they're damn good against Hydra-Link Bane. There should be no way that this doesn't go ArT's way. As long as ArT doesn't move command his army into YoungYakov, he doesn't walk into a 360 no-scope Mountain Dew surround, he should be fine. We've got a couple sentries as well. You wanna play that campaign? There's a small chance that I'll give it a shot, guys, but probably not. Nice force shield here. Traps all these Banes. They won't splash over his army. This is such a strong Protoss army as long as you don't get surrounded. If it's just, hey, I'm on one side of the battlefield, you're on the other side of the battlefield, this Protoss army should wipe the floor with Hydra-Link Bane. And please let me be right one time when I talk about Protoss, for God's sake. Come on, blink back. Drop a couple force fields, baby. Oh, that's a lot of Banelings. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of Banelings and Zerglings running on top of the Colossus. Nice Warp Prism micro there in the end. Thank the Lord that ArT can micro. Because if ArT did not micro there at all, he would have actually been in trouble. But it is good enough. I guess we can't quite call it wiping the floor, but point proven. ArT gets one on the board. Honestly, and a tiny bit surprised that YoungYakov still thought about being aggressive and made that many Hydra-Links and Banes. Maybe he felt like I made my bed, now I have to lay in it. I'm just kind of committed, right? And I'm familiar with that feeling. There are many games that I play with Phoenix and Zealots where I know I need something else, but I still build more because I'm praying. But yeah, that Colossus stock as a sentries is just very good against that lair tech composition. Are you gonna watch Mike Tyson vs Jake Paul? If it's free, I'll watch it. I don't know how it works in the Netherlands. If I was living in America and you would ask me to pay $60 to watch that, I would say hell no, absolutely not. If it's $10 here or if it's free, then I'll watch it. But I don't really want to watch it. But I'll watch it. I know it's on Netflix. Is it all free for everybody? Yeah, I'll watch. And I hope that Iron Mike just knocks him down in 40 seconds. And please, for the love of everything, just retire for the rest of your life. But the thing is, though, I was a fat kid. Like, I'm not a Jake Paul fan. Also not a hater. I'm just somewhere in the middle. I realize that a lot of it is show. And I can't knock a man who has done great things for himself. Like, I feel like that would just become jealousy. So, don't want to do that. I'm not a hater. I'm not a fan. But the guy is pretty strong. Like, he's just a very young, fit, early 20s dude who's been training for many years now. He's not just a Disney internet YouTube memer. Like, that guy is strong. Let's be honest. He is strong. He's not Canelo strong. But to make it seem that he's not strong and he's just a memer, I don't think that's really accurate either. Mike Tyson is built different. Mike Tyson is 58, guys. Of course, in his prime, yeah, it wouldn't be a fight. If we go 30 years back, it wouldn't be a fight. But Mike Tyson is 58. Anyway, I'll watch and we can discuss it maybe on Monday night, guys. Or if you guys stop by on Sunday, we'll play some Deadlock. Whoop, whoop.
Round 4. Fight!
In the bottom left side of New Gettysburg, we are looking at the main base of Platinum Heroes ArT. Don't you guys love this map? Doesn't this map bring you back to the Tastosis days and BlizzCon and the Tasteless Secret Hallway? Look at this, here it is, haha, Tasteless Secret Hallway, guys, it's back. Or a Cannon Rush, right, in the Korean League. Yeah, the memories of New Gettysburg. In the bottom right side of New Gettysburg, he's still up 2-1. This is old Yakov. Should actually be a decent PvZ map, no? Like obviously, yeah, pretty decent map to play some late game PvZ. Old Yakov is young Yakov. I agree with that, Venser. Like it's some people obviously they get too carried away, and I know there are some diehard nerds out there that really love Jake Paul and they actually believe that he would beat Canelo, and it's like, yeah, let's slow down a little bit. He's not that good, but he's pretty good. The man has all the money in the world. He has hired the best coaches. Has maybe done some steroids in the past, Lord knows, but he's in incredibly good shape. So he's not weak. You guys ask me, like, Roddy, would you want to step in the ring with Jake Paul? Hell no. What about after 1 year of training? Hell no. Like, that guy is strong. This is what it is. Just because he was a Disney kid in the past doesn't mean he didn't get strong after years of training. I would say he's a real boxer, but he's not an elite real boxer. But he's absolutely a real boxer. Don't forget, a couple of these guys that he knocked out that were in the UFC, like Tyron Woods. Tyron Woods may not be a boxer, but still a pretty damn strong guy and an accomplished champ. What, he's selling himself short in? No. I know my limitations. My brother is taller than me and has boxed for like over 20 years at this point. And actually was a state champion in the Netherlands many years ago. I don't know, over 20 years ago or something like that. My brother won the state championships. He's tall, he's still strong, he's still in good shape. I don't think my brother would stand a chance against Jake Paul. And that's not because I don't think that my brother is strong, but fighting is a young man's game, guys. What about for an 8-figure pay? Oh, I'd step in, knock me out, mate. I don't care. Might hurt for a while, but I could use it. If we're talking guaranteed pay, oh, I'll do it, baby. But not with the idea that I'm gonna win. But big brothers can beat anybody else. Yeah, so can dads, right, when you're 10. Skiller said something about this map. The only thing I remember about this map is that it was the moment when we played this weird PvP meta with mass adepts. That I don't really remember, to be honest. I remember a lot of weird Phoenix battles around these air blockers that we have. It's a cool map. Oh, he's gonna play double Stargate, by the way. Oracle Phoenix double Stargate. It's probably a whole lot more than 10k as well, though, Bully. But so these are air blockers. You cannot actually fly through these things. You have to go around. I'm sure that ArT played this map in the past. ArT has been around for so long. He's a damn high level player. So. I also think that this map, 2018, 2019 era. This is New Gettysburg, indeed. For the Big Brain Bouts right now, I've said it a couple times, but I don't mind repeating myself, because we are used to 9 map pools, but we only got 6 new maps from Blizzard on the PTR. I just throw in 3 different old maps from the past that I enjoy for every single Big Brain Bouts. And this week I went for Abyssal Reef, New Gettysburg, and Blue Shift. I've not seen Blue Shift yet. I don't know if we're gonna see Blue Shift, but I think it's fun. This is 2016? Jeez. It's even older than I thought. Can they just fly higher so they won't get blocked now? Then they go into outer space. And they disappear from the map. I can do King Sejong Station next week, but for some reason I have never been that big of a fan of King Sejong. And I know that's blasphemy in the eyes of some diehard Starcraft nerds, but I think that map was just around for so long and I've cast it and played so many games on it and I'm traumatized. Just not really loving it. So it's double Stargate Phoenix, 8 Phoenixes in total. Is that gonna show up? Followed up by double Robo. I don't know if ArT has been looking at my Wings of Liberty replays, but this is how I play the Wings of Liberty, guys. A bunch of Phoenixes into double Robo. And then you just kill Roaches and Corruptors. We can definitely do Overgrowth. There are some maps that just still feel fresh to me, like they were around yesterday. And Overgrowth is one of them, and King Sejong is one of them. It doesn't even feel like I'm going back to the past with those maps. Same with Daybreak. I was like, I still see Daybreak in front of me. Abyssal Reef is a very good map. And does feel older to me for some reason. Energy recharge gets used as we use a recall as well. We could lift a couple of these roaches if we like. The slow zealots for once actually putting up a bit of a fight with the healing of that battery. Yakov not having a good time this game, guys. Kind of built a little bit of everything. Had no idea what his opponent was doing. Probably wondering why on earth did I let New Gettysburg slip in there. What the hell, Roddy? Why are you selecting these Protoss favorite maps over here? But we had a Terran in our first series of the night. This week we did have a lot of Protosses and Zergs. Next Friday I'll make sure I have a few more Terrans. Next week we can make it a Terran night. I know. Obviously 2 weeks from now there's no Big Brain Bouts due to Home Story Cup. Honestly, I feel like ArT is dominating this game, no? Isn't ArT like completely dominating? Yakov is now building Roaches and Hydras of Lair Tech against the Protoss with double Robo. Hydras in very high numbers can obviously do well against Immortals, but would not do well against Colossus. Me versus you can only use one hand. I'm gonna assume that you have not played in forever, Torakshi, and even when you played you were probably not that good, so I will take that bet. One of my claim to fame is that I beat Dennis from Take TV a long time ago with one hand in Wings of Liberty. And he was actually still playing back then, but I was playing more and I felt pretty confident. And I had a cheesy build. And I said I can beat you with one hand. And he's like, there's no way, there's no way. And then we made a bet that the loser would have to eat 2 kebabs in Germany with extra meat, including the paper that they serve the kebab in. Not the silver paper, obviously, but just regular paper. And then we played on Zelnaga Caverns. I went for a 1-base Void Ray all-in. I played it with one hand in the sky, and I beat Dennis from Take TV with one hand. He made Marauders. He opened up with Marauders. I went 1-base Void Ray. And then we recorded the segment where he had to eat 2 kebabs with extra meat and the paper. he looked miserable. That was 2010 esports, baby. Great content, guys. Now that was content. That's the content we always talk about. When was this? In 2010? Zelnaga Caverns? Anyway. We have 7 Immortals, a couple of High Templars at Storm. Now Yakov did make it up to Lurkers, and Lurkers are very useful. A few Storms land. Can the Immortals get on top of it? Oh, he's lifting everything with the Phoenixes on top of a Spore Crawler, on top of Hydras. Can this work out? Apparently, if you believe in the power of Protoss, it can. Reveal. Does need to drop a Revelation, and he does. Gets most of the Lurkers besides one. And game 4, honestly, it's just all ArT. I bet YoungYakov is absolutely fuming over the fact that he had to play on New Gettysburg. It's like, what the hell, Roddy? What is this? You really thought this was a good idea? And I was like, yeah, kind of was. Just a great build by ArT. Double Stargate, Phoenix, Oracle first, you know, just to make it seem like nothing to see here. It's a completely normal game. Oracle first, into Phoenix, double Stargate, followed up by double Robo. And now we are just A-moving some swarmy units, Storms, Immortals, Zealot Warpings for days. And for the first time tonight, I say everybody's favorite words on the Friday night. And that's not this weekend, even though it is weekend. But we are going to Game 5. I almost thought I lost it there, but good to see that we still have a Game 5, baby. Fun series. I was really shocked when YoungYakov just took the 2-0 lead, and I was like, man, it should really be close between these guys. And I felt that the first game was a pretty convincing win for YoungYakov, even if there was some potential for ArT, but he got a bit unlucky with the timing of those carriers. Then the second game was the kind of game that ArT could have won, that should have won, and if you don't win those, I'm like, man, it's going to be a 3-0, but in the end, it's a 5-game series. I'm happy. Final game will be played on one of the new maps, but it's also very reminiscing of an old map. It is El Dorado. Once upon a time, we had Golden Wall. A lot of you guys love Golden Wall. I personally love Golden Wall. What's the first game that you guys ever think of if you say Golden Wall? Because I know who I'm thinking of, baby. And that is the USA GOAT, M. Canning, and the Mothership against Scarlet. That will forever be my Golden Wall moment. Sure, we had Clem with 6 splits against Showtime, but M. Canning and his Mothership against Scarlet on Golden Wall. This is not quite Golden Wall, but it looks a damn lot like it. It's El Dorado.
Final round. Fight!
Yeah, there was so much hype around those M. Canning runs in the DreamHack. That was really fun. I miss that, man. I miss Twitch chat exploding over craziness in Starcraft. It feels like it's all a little bit more tame, and it's not that like the numbers are so much down and the viewers are down. I miss the genuine excitement of a lot of the fans, and I still feel like we see a lot of great things. It's really not because the game got stale or that the players are bad or boring. It's just, I don't know. I think maybe we just had too much StarCraft at one point, and a lot of people are a tiny bit StarCrafted out, and they need a tiny break, and hopefully soon they'll be back. Vani Research Station. Now that's one that I haven't thought of yet, but I do love that. I remember that map very well because it was, well, I say very well, but I might be wrong. But it's high ground with a tiny ramp going to the low ground with an in-base expand, right? If it's that map, I played a game once against Rain, the Korean legend that is Rain. I opened Phoenix, and I knew that he would open Oracle, and I had my Phoenix opening. So I sniped his Oracle mid-map, and that was supposed to be a free win, because it really was. In that version of StarCraft, you couldn't really do much about it. I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to beat Rain here. Killed 2 Oracles, lost 0 probes, then lost the game. Don't ask me how I did that. It was a vertical map. I killed 2 Oracles mid-map, lost nothing, had similar economy, and then I lost the game. Well, pretty impressive. Bottom right side, guys, of El Dorado, it is our Polish Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. This is ArT. Yonsu was the map with the green and the fire, right? Different. The Blink Stalker map. The Blink Stalker era days. Mothership Core, Blink Stalker, whoop whoop, all day, every day. In the bottom left side of El Dorado, the new version of Golden Wall, we are looking in the main base of the man. 2 weeks ago, he was down 0-2, and he won the series 3-2. Tonight, he was up 2-0. Don't tell me this one is going to go the other way. This is YoungYakov. I definitely have a few games of StarCraft that I will remember for the rest of my life. Like, you can ask me when I'm 84, and I'll be like, yeah, I remember. When I Void Ray all-in MMA in Kiev. He looked so pissed. And he was like, again, and again, and again. And he wiped the floor with me 3 times in a row. I was like, prove your point, man, but I still got you with my Void Rays, baby. My PvP against MC on Shakura's Plateau. Oh, the memories. You guys don't know how good and satisfying StarCraft 2 can feel until you beat MC when he's 26-0 on the ladder and you're his first loss. You know. All me, baby. We didn't have many peaks in this game, but we had a couple. Shout out, by the way, to Kybrit for the 16 months. I don't know if I got you earlier, mate, but I do appreciate it. Don't forget, we are 2 weeks away from Home Story Cup, and I do really want to encourage all of you guys that if this is something you've always thought about, you want to visit, you want to check it out, Krefeld in Germany, ! Home Story Cup. If you like StarCraft, if you're still here or watching these videos in the year 2024, stop by. Even if it's just for a day, half a day. There's a lot of very cool nerds there. You can obviously ask for any other questions in my Discord, or ask me here and I'll do my best. If you need help with anything, we can probably help. StarCraft 2 offline events will probably not be forever. Hopefully for many more years. But nothing is ever forever. So if you're still here and you've always thought, I kind of want to do it, but I just never really did it, do it. Let me convince you that it's a good idea. Home Story Cups are really fun. And we're going to make it a very special weekend, hopefully. Alright, final game. ArT versus YoungYakov. 5 minutes in. Oracles adapts without Resonating Glaive. I know, it's not doable for everybody, but it's doable for a lot of people. There's always lurkers from Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, friends. They're like, I could do it, I've got free time, I've got the money, but I don't know, do I? I don't have friends to go with, yada yada, that stuff. Let me convince you. I understand if you live in Australia, America, Canada, it's not that easy. I am aware of that. 11 drones have gone down for 3 adepts so far, so this is honestly pretty stunning play by ArT. This is well done, good movement. Did a great job in keeping these oracles pretty healthy so far as well. Can't be too unhappy with this start. Next Home Story Cup is in 2 weeks from now. Final weekend of November. ! Home Story Cup for some info. If you need more info, ! Discord. We have a Home Story Cup channel. Feel free to ask around. We have people helping each other from the train station, airports, whatever. We're doing our best to make it a fun community weekend. So there's a lot of things that I can help you with. I think the last 10 times that I drove to Germany myself, I always picked up some nerds somewhere. Either fans or players or not casters. I guess Waddy never really knew the right. A lot of nerds help out. Try to make it a fun weekend. That really is not just about competitive StarCraft. It's about having fun. Sharing your passion for StarCraft 2 with fellow nerds. I drove casters once. Because you're a caster, Nikita. I drove legendary YouTubers. Playing StarCraft regression, guys, after the Oracle follow-up, as ArT has obviously taken this gold base as well. It kind of feels that Polish ArT is just cooking, man. And YoungYakov is in trouble. That is a cancel on the 4th hatchery. The first 2 games were strong out of YoungYakov. Maybe a little bit of lady luck in game 2, but a fantastic first game. But game 3 and 4, not too many things going his way in this final game. I don't want to say it's a disaster, but it's definitely not too hot. He is hard stuck now, being a 3-base Zerg against a whole bunch of Stalkers in his face. Now the good news is that it's Stalkers. It's not Colossus, it's not Immortals, not Disruptors, it is just Stalkers. The bad news is that the Protoss is going up to 4 bases before YoungYakov has a chance of going up to 4 bases. Maybe taking this hatchery instead of this one would have been the safer play. ArT has more micro potential in his army, needs to be a tiny bit careful on creep obviously, but off creep he should be pretty safe. He's got the quick warp ins here as well with the pylon and the gateway. With the warp gate we should call it. I mean, ArT even feels confident enough. What the hell? Triple robo. Not 1, not 2, but 3 robos. Maybe he looks at his game and says, I might not be able to win it with Blinkstalkers. And I'm just gonna make sure that I'll never die against a couple of roaches and hydras. And if I don't do that, it's fine. The robo explosion blinks forward, snipes the hatchery as well. No cancel, guys. And that means YoungYakov doesn't just lose the drone, loses all the minerals that come along with it. Poor YoungYakov. The complete opposite of the series of 2-3 weeks ago when he was playing against Moja. And he was down 0-2. And he managed to turn things around, win 3 games in a row. Today he's up 2-0. It seems like he's going to lose 3 in a row. I want to say it's not 100% over yet, but we're looking at a 4-base Protoss with triple robo against a 3-base Zerg. Where did it all go wrong for YoungYakov Roddy? Well, obviously he took some economic damage, but one of the most pivotal moments in any PvZ, and you guys can watch PvZ for the next 2-3 years, the 4th base for the Zerg is so incredibly important in this matchup. And the way that I've always played my PvZs, it's been my best matchup for many years at my little pleb level, is that if I can get a delay on the 4th base, I'm loving life. Life is good. If I cannot delay the 4th base, life becomes pretty hard. ArT got a cancel and a kill later on. And that is just massive. Now this is a bit of a weird map, and Yakov realizes that he can obviously sneak a couple of units towards the bottom and start attacking these workers. I don't know what we had in the main. We definitely had something in the main. And this is actually a pretty damn good little counterattack. Ooh, the recall is a tiny bit scary, maybe. Stalker warping gets in. I wouldn't blink across this. Uh-oh. ArT? ArT? Guys, ArT, what are you doing? Oh, panic. There's always panic. He clicked the probes back as well. 4 base. ArT, what are we doing here in game 5? Ay caramba. Triple Robo ArT has barely used it. Has not dropped a Robo Bay yet either. So it's not like we can make a couple of Colossus. Oh my goodness. Did this game just make a full 180? YoungYakov sneaking a couple of units through the other side of the map, through the bottom. The power of the Hydra. We may not have Hydra Dash here yet, but yeah, triple Robo is nice and all, guys. But Colossus is what you really need. Or maybe some Disruptors. Disruptors are great too against Hydras and Roaches. Oh my goodness. ArT, what are we doing? That is the 6th stasis trap, but honestly, the remaining Hydras and Lynx are still going to put up a really good fight. ArT is attacking this base in the bottom, so it's going to be a base for a base and a couple of Hydras fall. What the hell is happening here in game 5 between these two gamers? ArT loses the base that was once upon a time his 3rd. YoungYakov loses another 4th, but he can't recall. He has already recalled. Guys, recall's on cooldown, right? Coco's 2nd recall is not a thing. What the fuck? WTF? Was that click into the natural? What are we doing? What are we doing? He just killed the 4th base and he just clicked a whole bunch of stocks. He's got a Warp Prism in the main base as well. Gets the Zealot Warp in, but he loses that Prism, loses the Zealots. This is actually one of the most crazy games that I've seen in a little while. And it's only 11 minutes. But I cannot possibly, for the life of me, summon up the last 2 minutes that I've just seen. Sure, if we're watching some community Starcraft, we know crazy things happen. And oh, it can be so back and forth. But these two guys are good. They're like way over 6,000 MMR. They are normally always at the level where they'll close out certain things. They are not supposed to make these crazy plays. Money on the line, Friday night, a bunch of nerds watching. It does something to our gamers. Yakov now has Hive Tech. He's got 9 Lurkers on the way. He's got a bigger army, he's got +1 missile attacks, +2 on the way. He's got Vipers and Lurkers, man. Guys, when he warped in the 3 Robos, I was a big fan. Because you know what I thought was going to happen? That man was going to show up with a bunch of Colossus and a bunch of Immortals, and he was going to wipe the floor with a Lairtech army. But we've made like 5 units out of triple Robo. We don't have a Robo Bay. And honestly, I fear the worst. Now, they're next to each other. There's no way he forgot. They're next to each other. You don't forget buildings when... Like, if there was one Robo somewhere in the corner of the main and then he has 2 Robos at the 3rd, yeah, maybe he forgets one. No way he was gonna forget that one. Jacob! Thank you so much, Jacob. That's so sweet of you, mate. I assume that means that we are pumped for Home Story Cup, mate. Let's go. 50 gifted subbies, guys, from our man, the legend. I assume that this means he's gonna try to beat me this year in poker. Because previous years at Home Story Cup, I felt that Jacob was just, you know, some donations towards his 2nd favorite streamer after Pig. But apparently, Jacob is gonna bring his A game this year. Couple of DTs, a swipe this hedge, the top left side hedge gets killed as well. So ArT once more in a fantastic economic position. But can he win the fight? We have Hydra Dash, by the way, guys. Hydra Dash is done. YoungYakov back to 3 bases. I think Yakov wins. I think Yakov wins, because I think that ArT is going to take a bad fight against all these lurkers. 13 lurkers, 3 vipers, and Hydra Dash. Here come the abducts. Say goodbye to 2 immortals and a Tempest. Apparently we need to abduct one more time. This is kind of it, right? If Yakov loses his army, then he's done so. He will be the Benny Hanzo. Game 5. Oh, what a beautiful series this was. Nothing better than a crazy game 5 in a best of 5 for all the marbles. Stalker blinked forward by ArT. Ay caramba, that's a lot of that Stalker he knows rather quickly. He is still attacking the top left, by the way, and these fellows obviously are putting a number on the economy of Yakov. But Yakov has made his way into the natural as he uses Hydra Dash one more time. Honestly, I'm still not really used to that. I just think it's kind of funny. Hydra Dash does remind me of the Lash. It just swings forward. ArT now sitting on some money, but he's going to have a hard time spending it as he obviously lost some gateways there. He lost all 3 robots. We do still have a Dark Shrine. A Nidus network as Hydra Dash gets used again. ArT is down to 66 army supply, but he's got money. If he snipes the Tempest, by the way, excuse me, if he snipes the Overseer with the Tempest, wouldn't that be a play? Oh, the Vipers, hello? Oh yeah, what the hell is happening? I cannot believe it. What is this game? What is this final game of this series between YoungYakov and ArT? Did the Overseer die? No, the Overseer is still here. Just kill this thing, mate. He's got no Vipers. Kill this thing, warp in some DTs and you're cooking. Who wins? I still don't know who wins. Quality entertainment on the Friday night. The Observer gets picked off. The Tempest is shooting at a Roach. Still that Overseer. Warp. Oh, now he's gonna lose. Right. A Nidus network goes up to evacuate. Yeah, that's a cool play. ArT is now going for a desperation attack on the other side of the map, but I don't really like his army anymore. He's got 4 Archons, couple of Immortals, 4... The perfect storm maybe, but... Mixer said it was hell for the Zerg if ArT wasn't AFK with his army. I would absolutely agree with you that this game was hell for the Zerg. When Yakov was contained on 3 bases by Blinkstalkers, 4 Stargates. I mean, he's got money. I know this seems insane, but he's got money. What are we gonna do with 4 Stargates? Do we still have a beacon? No, we don't. Void Race, baby. The Void Race switch. Phoenix is very difficult against Hive Tech Zerg and 19 Hydras. I don't know. Oh, a couple of abducts will land on these Archons. It means ArT's army will just get smaller and smaller. It takes a miracle for ArT to win this. What are we gonna build with 4 Stargates, mate? I don't think that YoungYakov is ever gonna give him the time to casually build a fleet beacon. My Templar is getting abducted by Vipers. ArT is in trouble. He's still pumping out 2 Immortals. Not really using the Stargates yet. Maybe he thought that his fleet beacon would still be alive and he could just build 4 Tempests at a time. He did not have a fleet beacon, mate. That means that this is a massive investment. It is not doing anything for him. He's going to lose one of his remaining bases. He did not rebuild the Dark Shrine either. YoungYakov, unlike 2 weeks ago, he will not get reverse swept. He's still going to close it out in very dramatic fashion here. I just don't see this going wrong. A game that absolutely was hell as a little recall gets used in the top right. That will allow ArT to drop a couple big storms maybe. Use energy recharge. Honestly, takes a pretty good fight here for a little while. Can we save these High Templars? Morph it into an Archon? Yes. Oh my goodness. That's the best fight he could have ever taken. What a recall! What a recall! Not much NTR left. Vipers show up after most of the Zerg units have died. Oh, sick recall. I don't want to... Honestly, I don't want to start believing, but... If YoungYakov keeps losing lurkers like this, do I start believing? Mixer says if he warps in 10 High Templars, I like it for the Protoss again. I don't think he's got the Templar Archives anymore, mate. He's got 5 gates, no Twilight Council, no Templar Archives, no Dark Shrine. He's got 2 regular gateways, or 5 regular warp gates, 2 robos, 4 Stargates. Nice little feedback. Every High Templar you have right now is so important, and unfortunately for ArT, he only has 1. Like, this is actually the sickest ending to a best of 5 that I've seen in a while. This is so good, it feels scripted. Is it scripted? Probably. I'll give him 10 bucks later, that's the bonus. Couple Zerglings getting on top of probes and a very low HP Nexus. I don't think that ArT can... I don't think ArT can do it. I just want to emphasize that we built 4 Stargates. That's so expensive and we haven't used it. We have not used it at all. He is gonna try to follow Mixu's advice of warping in 10 High Templars. And the Stargates were maybe a panic moment, or I just need some Tempest and I have extra money. So I can build it, but... Few Abducts will land on a couple of the Immortals. Blinding Clouds as well this time coming out of YoungYakov. The Immortals run forward into the meat grinder. Hydra dash forward to finish it all off for YoungYakov. What a best of 5 between these two. Bit of a slow steady start, but another dash forward will do it. Congrats to YoungYakov. That deserves some applause. That was the banger that we were waiting for on the Friday night. After 20 minutes of a whole bunch of trolls and El Dorado. I cannot believe he won that. It is YoungYakov who gets the dub. He will walk away with 100 buckies. ArT will still get 25 bucks for playing. Really fun series. Oh my god, is that going to play for 50 individual subs? These alerts are broken. I will obviously not let you guys go through that. We'll turn off the alerts, guys. That would be very unbearable. That will go on for a long time as there were 50 of them. Thank you so much to Jacob. Look forward to seeing you, mate, in Krefeld. Okay. We're going to the PTR right now, I think. Yeah. I think we go to the PTR for the final one. Are you coming, by the way, again, Max, to Home Story Cup? It was really fun hanging out with you last time. I really had good conversations with you. You were pretty good in Padel. You and Alex, both pretty good in Padel. Gotta give it to the boys. Shout out to Basilisk as well. Literally everyone's a sub here now, guys. Everybody is a sub. At this point, I think my everyone's a sub. Grubby's a sub. BC's a sub. Yeah, Seagull. Just started. Sasha Gray is definitely a sub. Big fan. Oh, that was great. I loved it. I was starting to get worried that this was going to be one of these nights, and it happens sometimes, right, that we just have some relatively short, one-sided games, and there is no drama, there's nothing crazy, nothing epic. Just like in football or F1, you can script it. It can't always be great. If it was always great, it would be fake, and it would be fun. That game was sick. Very fun ending of our series. YoungYakov gets the dub. That deserves a main event in the future for sure. Thank you, Basilisk, for the bonus up. Don't reward that. Alright, final series, guys. Main event of the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts number 76 is Skillus versus Australia. The winner gets 150 bucks, the loser gets 50. It is a PvP main event just because I still think that we haven't seen crazy much PvP. Obviously seen some max packs in the tournaments, but I just kind of want to see how a series looks between two guys that are at the top of the foreign scene. Australia, Skillus, an NA Protoss, a European Protoss, new patch, some new maps, some old maps. Just seemed like a fun series. I think it has potential. I hope it's good. But even if it's not, after that final game 5 that we just saw, I'm happy. I am a happy nerd. Do you guys believe in Australia, the American Protoss, who had a relatively unfortunate main event a couple weeks ago against Hero Marine? Or do you guys believe in the man that I have not invited for quite some time? I'm gonna call him Dutch, guys. So you guys better live with it, because he speaks Dutch. We haven't seen him in a while, but obviously we're always happy to have him. It is Team Liquid Skillus versus Teamless Australia. I'll give you guys 50 minutes to get your predictions in. It is obviously a best of 5. And this is the main event. I'm a happy nerd now. My night is a success. I'm ready to spend 2 days setting up Christmas decorations. Skillus Dutch since when? Today? He's been living here for almost 3 years. He will stay here. He's got a permit to be here. He wants to be here. He speaks Dutch. That man, so Dutch. Skillus is literally more Dutch than me right now. I think he speaks probably more Dutch than me. take a little break. I'll see you guys soon. Main event coming up.